What's up, y'all? It's Briana from Sincerely Briana Nicole. Ooh, that feels a little weird saying that out loud. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, that feels a little weird. Because I've been brief and young, saved, and free for so long. So, I did make a change, as y'all know. So I'm now Sincerely Briana Nicole. And doesn't mean that the content is gonna change from what it already was. Of course, I'm still gonna have that kind of content. Um, but some other things just had to change. So we're gonna talk about it.
Long as you know who you belong
So what is Sincerely Brianna Nicole? Sincerely Brianna Nicole is just the overall of who I am. Like I got to a place honestly where I felt like I was putting myself in a box with Young Saving and Free, where I could only post certain things. Like I could post my vlogs, but I couldn't post like everything, the totality. Is that the word? Is that a word? Totality? Yes, totality of who I am. um,
long as you know who you belong
so sincerely, Brianna Nicole. Sincere. The word sincere means, or sincerely means, in a genuine or truthful matter. And so I couldn't just be young, safe, and free because that wasn't everything that I am. And so it became sincerely Brianna Nicole because that is, regardless of if I'm saved, not saved, going to church, not going to church, whatever the case may be, I will always be Brianna Nicole. Even if I get married, my first and middle name is still going to be Brianna Nicole. So, it just, that's something that will never change. And that's kind of where God had me in place. So it kind of, I'll be honest, Pentecost was a very big deal for me the last 2 years. Why? My son was conceived on Pentecost last year. So, and this year, Sincerely Brianna Nicole was conceived. So, what is Sincerely Brianna Nicole? Why does that have to do? What does that have to do with Pentecost? So, this Pentecost, my church, of course, we had Pentecost service, and then during the service, we had deliverance take place, and the girl that was there, they worked with her for a long time. Like it seemed like it was hours and hours and hours. They worked with her, and she had some demons, and so they asked the demon where it came from, and it said social media. Or well, first it said where did you come from? The phone, and then they said what on the phone? They said social media, and so um, all of a sudden it hit me like spirit hit me all of a sudden because if y'all don't know, I also have a social media management business called Affluent Influence Social Media Management. Y'all should book me, because I'm pretty dope at what I do, right? So, oh, y'all, we're redecorating the house, so I didn't know what this was right here. Um, so it hit me all of a sudden. Why? Because um, I feel like I have a responsibility for some of the things that are on the internet. Of course, I can't control everything that everybody posts. Of course, I have no control of what everybody is seeing. But as a social media manager, when it comes to my clients, I have control over what they're putting out and the type of influence that they're having on their audience. So it really, really dealt with me about how I'm doing my business and what I'm doing with my business. So, for example, I work for a magazine, and even though they're not specifically a Christian organization or a Christian magazine, but every Sunday and every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day I feel like it, I'm posting somebody's clip from somebody's sermon, whether it's Sarah Jakes Roberts, Keon Henderson, TD Jakes, anybody. Like I post it because I feel like it. And that's just because I feel like people need to see that. And so the same manner, God was like, you cannot take what you do so lightly because this girl is now possessed with a demon because of the things that she's been saying. So you need to take it more seriously and do what you need to do. Right? So I'm like, okay, so I like, let me start working, let me get to working on my business for real. Like, let me stop playing and get, get this together, because I have an assignment from God to do what, to really take responsibility and be accountable for what's happening in this generation, because all they have is social media. It's not like my generation where, for part of it, we were outside playing, drinking from the water hose, playing tag outside or hide and go seek, and the green generator was base. That it wasn't that. It wasn't that you have to be inside by the time the street lights come on. It wasn't none of that for this generation. A lot of them, all they have is social media. So even though I grew up with social media, I also had a time in my life where social media was not really a thing. So I have to take responsibility and understand what it, because I'm in a place where I understand both. I wasn't grown when social media came out. I was 13 when Facebook started. I was 12, 13 years old when Facebook. No, I was 13. I was definitely 13 when Facebook started. So I have a responsibility to do all of these things and make sure that I reach the people I'm supposed to reach. Why did I change my name from Young, Saved, and Free? Is because of that. Everybody is not going to come to my content because of the name of it. So does that mean I changed the content? No, it does not. It means that I changed the name and allow organic engagement, organic growth from people who just like the person that I am and wonder why I am the way that I am. It's because of God. Literally, it's all God. Like, I don't, and it's funny to me because I felt like I was a contradiction. Because I remember one day when I was still in Tallahassee, I think this was before I was even pregnant, with Kyron, and I remember seeing these people outside. I was going to, I think, the grocery store or something, and I saw these people outside, and they had like these blowhorns, and they were like, "Get saved right now! God is coming. You going to hell if you ain't saved." Like, it was real radical, and I was like, I couldn't be one of those people that's doing that, because I don't want to bombard anybody with my faith. But with a name like Young, Saved, and Free, do you really think you're not bombarding people with your faith? They obviously know that you're saved. You may not be like, you need to go to you need to go to heaven, and you need to get it together. You need to get saved right now. Like, I may not be doing that, but there's subliminal messages, right? With something as simple as my name. And so I remember last week I had this dream that I was wrestling, and it was almost like when God changed Jacob's name to Israel. It was like one of those situations where he was wrestling with God, and I was wrestling with something. I thought it was a demon. I was really scared because I'd never had no dream like that before. And literally when I woke up, it said, change your name to Sincerely Briana Nicole. I said, okay. So I did it. And I said, I wonder why I had to do this. Because people, and it made me think about people who I watch, who I know are saved, but they don't necessarily broadcast that to the world, but their life says otherwise. So like people like Gay Babe TV. I love Gay Babe TV, but it's not Jesus and Babe or Jesus and Gabe. Like, it's not that. It's just Gay Babe TV. They are who they are. And, if you get inspired to pursue God from that, then so be it. They don't hide the fact that they're Christians. They don't hide the fact that they believe in God at all. But what they do is live their life in a positive way. And they are who they are. They don't have to put out just certain parts of their life. They put everything out there. And I was like, you know what? God, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I understand why, why you've called me to do that, because I am such a diverse person. Like, I'm not one of the people that only grew up in church. I actually grew up in church and then left that as an adult, and then went back on my own. Like, it wasn't, and even when I went back, it wasn't to the same kind of church. It was a different kind of church. I went back, and that was just what it was. I was like, you know what, God? If this is what you have for me, then this is what you have for me. But I don't, at this moment, before, I was like, I don't want anything to do with church, because of the people who say they go to church, and then this is what they're really doing. And so, when it comes to my content, it's now, be exactly who you are. Be me with Briana with the tattoos, be Briana with the piercings, be Briana, that we'll cuss somebody out in a minute without a second thought. Yes, we're still growing, but I'm trying to be more positive. But talk about those things. Talk about what it's like being, and having a baby out of wedlock and still being in the church. Talk about life. It don't have to be about church stuff all the time. It can be about anything. So what does that mean for my content? That means that it's not gonna be church stuff all the time. It's not gonna be devotionals every time I post. It's not gonna be like that. We're gonna talk about real stuff. We're gonna be sincere. We're gonna be like exactly who we are. I'm not just gonna be the church girl all the time, because that's not who I am all the time. This is not. I got other things going on. And I think a lot of the issues that people have, and I know specifically with me and some of the other people that go to my church, is that we have to be churchy. And it's like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. I have to be who he called me to be. So if that means wearing my, my 6-inch heels to church one day and wearing my Jordans the next day, wearing, whatever I want to wear. Because being saved doesn't have a look or a sound. Being saved is a lifestyle. And it, even still, it don't look the same on everybody. So, that's really what he wanted me to be. He wanted me to be free from the thought process that I have to be a certain way to get people to Christ. Like, no, you can be exactly who you are. Be you with your 22-inch weave, which I wish was longer, but I'm gonna get a longer wig, y'all. I promise. This was an experiment, but be who you want to be. Be who you are. Be who I created you to be. Because if I created you to be like these people over here, then there wouldn't be a point for Young, Saved, and Free. And the reason why I had to transition you from Young, Saved, and Free is because too much of one type of people were coming in, and I needed you to reach somebody else. And I'm like, okay. And when I think about it, it's like, what if people just saw my content for my content, right? So another person that I watch is Sophiology. She, even though she starts off every vlog, every video with a Bible verse, she is still Sophiology. She's still killing them wigs, killing them, right? But she's not beating people over the head with her faith, with anything like that. She's just who she is, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, if you have to put on a front every time you're around people, like if you got to be super saved all the time, I don't want you around me like that. I don't, like, cause even my bishop and my elect lady, they got another side to them. It's not another side like a negative thing, but it's a side that's not so holier than thou. They're not holier than thou even in church. So it's like, I don't need them kind of people around me. I need somebody that's gonna be real. I need somebody that's gonna be honest. I need somebody that's going to be sincere. How do I get people to understand that you don't have to be that way? Be sincere in who you are. So we are sincerely Briana Nicole. So I hope you guys will stay with me while I'm going through this transition. I really, 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 really thank you guys for the support and the love. I hope we can continue to grow. So I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.